They're really warm.
Okay, so next round is a bit of an interesting one.
What do we got?
We have Nathan O'Brien playing a very similar build of
Hey,
dolls to what
my
we've
man.
just seen. And we've also got...
Whoa, that camera is
the camera
off.
is gone. And his opponent, Bodhi, he's actually playing Eva tiles.
Oh, it's this guy. I
Yes.
love this guy.
It seems like it could be really interesting. We want to get a bit of an unconventional deck on the stream if we could.
Yeah, so it looks like from what I'm seeing here, Nathan is playing a very similar deck list to Colin. Only he's, from what I can understand the changes are, he's playing 3 Vanities, 2 Sinister Shadow Games instead of the other way around. He's not main decking Upstart. Instead, he's got 2 Chaos Sorcerers and a Allure of Darkness. So that's reasonably interesting.
So for those of you who aren't aware, Eva tiles are like Photon Shockwave era kind of deal. They got a recent boost with a card called Eva Singularity,
Which is rather insane.
yeah, it's a normal trap. It says special summon an Eva tile and an Eva Saw from your graveyard.
Yep.
Then use them to make an Evolzar Xyz. Now the important thing to note is that they don't require the same levels. It doesn't matter what level Xyz you summon, so you can literally just grab up
Grab
like
what I'm about to pull up being
Yeah.
Solder Daddy.
you can just grab like a 3 and a 4, which is like pretty standard, and you honestly just end up with like a rank 6, can't be destroyed by card effects, and it destroys an opponent's special summon monster. And doing that as a trap is like ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
I mean, the last time I played against this version of the deck, what kind of happened to me was he just went like, set Najasho Evo Force to summon his next guy, and then he just log-eared the first thing I did. So I was doing that to like just bait out the log-ear, and then he evolved Evo Singularity, another log-ear, and I'm like, well, I just lose.
Yeah, so
I
it-
cannot win.
It's like the Lagia and Dolka obviously got their fame for the Dino Rabbit deck, but a deck that can actually make them with like the proper Evatile monsters and also has a normal trap that honestly just says resolve this trap, you Lagia now.
Yeah,
is
we big monster
yeah
now.
definitely as a rogue deck has potential to like do some cool stuff.
I think the real issue with it is you never want to draw any of the monsters in your deck that aren't named Westlow or Najasho.
Yeah, the big
Or
issue
kind
with
of Serato.
the big issue with all of the Evolsaur monsters, which are the dinosaurs. So there's reptiles, dinosaurs, and dragons.
Mm-hmm.
All of the dinosaurs only get their effect if they're special summoned by one of the reptiles. So the reptiles' effects are really powerful. Like Westlow is when it's flipped, summon one.
Yep.
Najasho is when it's tributed, summon one. They're both very strong. But if you hard draw a Serato, it's honestly like a 1900 vanilla.
Yep, but even worse is when you get Diplo or Volcano, which are just, I mean, their effects when they're in the deck are really good. I mean, it's MST and Wolfbark, but triggering them can be difficult sometimes, and it looks like our Evo play has a pretty solid start here of Westlow set
I would
2.
say he's definitely over the Westlow setting. And another thing with this deck is being very rogue. If his opponent doesn't know what he's playing, he could just walk into stuff really badly.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan has the possibility of just drawing all Super Polys here and just getting destroyed, because we don't have Urga Crystal yet, and every card in his deck is fire. Okay, so yeah, as we said, he has opened the Westlow. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what he goes for here. I mean, he's just going for the Diplo. Shadow Games, Vanities. That
Yeah.
seems interesting to not just Vanities the Westlow.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he was trying to save it for a juicier time, but I mean, that's another thing. Oh, okay, I'm unfamiliar with that card. Do you know what that one is, Dan?
That would be... let's see. That would be Lagashuko.
Lagashuko.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find him.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to have to look up quite a few of these
fine.
cards.
I've got them here. When this is normal summon, you can send one Evols or monster from your grave. When this is flip face up, you can special one from your deck. Okay.
So, yeah.
Was this card always out?
Yeah, so it just means that now it's possible Xyz plays with Westlow. I think Westlow's
Oh,
level
when
3.
only summons Evo Light. It summons the reptiles. No wonder
Yeah.
I wasn't familiar with him.
But it also means he can mill one of the dinosaurs, which, as we
Yeah.
mentioned, are just completely terrible to draw. So
Absolutely.
it now means like his Volcano play is very live, and is that a equipped engineer?
It sure is. So it's very possible Bodhi here doesn't know that he's playing against Shadows. I mean, all he's seen is Vanities, which, every deck plays, basically, right now. So if Nathan has the fusion, he could just go for insane value right now. But it looks like he just has a rather slowish opening with just soul charges that aren't doing anything.
Yeah. But I mean, it's definitely one of those things where you look at like Dino Rabbit, and obviously the deck now isn't nearly as good as it was with like Rabbit
absolutely
Milling and
not.
stuff. But then you look at things like, okay, sure, So if you can make the Lagia and then back it up with something like an Engineer,
Yes.
that's just a very, very strong
That is
board.
quite strong, yeah.
Especially when you're making them basically off one card.
Nathan taking read of the card Burst Rebirth. I think we should probably do the same because it's actually pretty sweet in this deck. Burst Rebirth being a card that lets you pay 2k and special summon a monster from your graveyard face down. So
it allows you to reuse that Westlake flip effect. Also, the other effect, the Wombo combo in the Eva tile deck is setting an Najasho, tributing for Evo Force, which is a card that says tribute a monster you control, special summon when an evil Saw from your deck, and it acts as though it was special summoned by a reptile. Then obviously tributing the Najasho lets you do the same, and it just lets you like pump out a bunch of monsters, pump a bunch of spell traps.
That's the only way you can turn one Dragon Exceed in this deck is open Najasho plus Evo Force. The really cool thing about Evilites is they have a Rotor at 3, which is really nice.
It's actually quick play, I believe, as well.
No, I don't think. Oh man, I can never remember any of these
Evo
names.
Singularity.
No, is it Singularity?
It is Singularity. Oh no, Singularity is the trap. It's
Diversity.
Diversity is
Diversity is
a
not quick play.
Yeah. But it does just mean that he basically right now has like all his swords in the graveyard. And if he draws that trap at any point, he can just make a Lagia, which is really good.
Really, really strong, yes.
Especially in response to things like response to a Super Poly and his opponent goes for a Construct. And he
in
get Construct
to Super Poly,
in response to Shaddoll Fusion.
Okay.
I'm the best. And like he's just, at the moment, just churning out those dinosaurs.
Oh, and Mequipped is a light.
Oh, Mequipped is a light.
That is not going to be good for Bodhi here.
Even then, he still has like all the dudes on the board.
Oh yeah, he has two 1600 vanillas, a 700 attack monster.
Oh,
the bottomless is okay here.
Well, he's gonna get the Falco effect and he's gonna send off the Construct, but at the same time, Bodhi can then just like make a thing. Like he can just go into a Lagia or here.
That's true. That's true. The 1600 vanillas do happen to be dinosaurs, which in the past has always been good.
Yeah.
Level 4 dinosaurs are quite strong. Quite strong. So, looks like Nathan's probably going to have to go for the Soul Charge here, which is nice because he's gotten through the bottomless.
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming he's probably going to either send...
I feel like Blue Eyes Shadolls has been underperforming on the stream compared to what we know the deck is capable of. We haven't really seen any of the big Soul Charge plays the deck is known
the
for,
big wombo combos that you can just turn one, like, either Math, White Stone, and then trade it in, or you can just Curry Band it into disgusting things.
Or even just like soul charging for like a Construct, a Blue Eyes, a Window, and something else. And like
I mean, the rank 8s and the rank 5s are just really, really powerful.
Yeah. But unfortunately, obviously if you open a hand that's just like Super Poly Vanities and Soul Charge with nothing engraved, you just get really sad about it.
Yep. And so Nathan's going to draw for his Beast.
At this point, it looks like Bodhi is honestly just beating him down. Like,
yeah, I mean, those Diplos are getting in.
Nathan's just unable...
this wasn't Nathan. This wasn't on Nathan's turn.
Nathan is just unable to stick monsters on the board, and he's not doing well, so...
Yeah, he's just straight dead here.
Yeah.
So, looking at our side decks, do we have anything interesting on Bodhi's side that he can bring into this matchup?
So, Bodhi is side decking 2 Flying Sea, obviously for like Satella Knight matchup, 2 DD Crow, 3 MST, 1 Twister... 1 Back to Square 1.
A card you're quite fond of.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, it's
Let's pull that bad boy up.
It's a normal spell, discard a card, select the monster on the field, put it back on top of their deck. So basically, it's a faster Wing Blast because obviously it's not a trap, but it only targets monsters.
Yep.
I'm very curious as to what his use for it in this deck would be. Interestingly, he's obviously main decking the 1 Blaster because all his dudes are fire. He's also main decking 1 Grand Mole, which is a bit of an interesting tech choice.
Quite a good card.
But I guess when you look at his deck, and it's a lot of cards that are super, super dead in hand.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. I mean, discarding a Diplo Aura.
What is this?
What is that? Okay, so Bodhi has a trap card in his main deck called Swamp Mirror, and neither of us have ever heard of this card, so let's have a... Oh, it's this. It's the trap that came out in Battle Pack 3, which is the trap monster that you could make any type.
Oh, so he can just make it dinosaurs?
Yeah, he could just kind of go... summon Diplo, Swamp Mirror, or Lagia you, which seems kind of cute.
That is cute.
Also, the only time I've ever seen anyone play this card against me is they just had all these monsters. He just attacked me with some 19 guy and then flipped 3 of them, and I just died to damage immediately.
Yeah, it is 1800 strong as well, so it's actually decent beats.
Anyway, so in the side...
He also has other than the Black Square 1, he's got the Soul Drain, because obviously, other than Najasho, I don't think any of his dudes do anything in Grave. He has 2 Chaos Trap Holes, a Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, and 2 Deep Dark Trap Holes.
Okay, so
he has a lot to side for this matchup.
I mean, he's got the Deep Darks are fine. The Shadow Imprisonings are insane. I'm really not a fan of Chaos Trap Hole. He might think it's good because I mean, from my memory on Chaos Trap Hole, it has to negate the summon, right? You can't just...
Yeah,
I'm gonna look that up real quick, but I'm pretty sure it is much like Black Horn of Heaven, where you can only...
Yeah, I don't think it would work on a fusion.
I'm almost certain it doesn't. Turns out there are a lot of cards called Chaos.
Yep.
Yep, negate the summon, and if you do, banish it. Okay, so you can every single normal summon in his deck, it gets rid of...
And I mean, it negates the summon as well, so even like flip summoning a beast and banishing it.
I think this is almost certainly more for the Sartella Knight matchup, because if you just banish like
the Deneb,
a Deneb or a Deltaros, even if we're going ham, like that's just good old-fashioned value.
Yeah. No, it's good. I'm interested that the main deck tech of Neospatian Grand Mole, a card that's been limited for ages.
That has to be a concession to this matchup.
Yeah, like that's it. Honestly, being able to just... No, it's like the Spanish Inquisition. No one ever expects the Grand Mole.
Nope. I've been blown out by it many times in the past.
You have a big dude on board, and they just bounce with the Grand Mole, and you get really sad about it. And if you're forced into setting Shadows in like a slow hand, it just wrecks you.
It just absolutely wrecks you, because at the start of the damage step, the monster doesn't flip.
Yep.
It just sets them back so far, and you can just keep getting them with it.
I mean, this is one of those... It's a very typical rogue deck where it's sort of the maybe 20-15 card engine, and then just
whatever you
good
feel like
cards.
Playing, yeah.
Good. Like he's just got a million different traps, and with any luck, he's just going to be able to go like, here's my Lagia, here's my set 4. I don't care that you're playing Shadows because it's a bottomless and a deep dark trap hole, and he has actually opened the deep dark trap hole. Although he's unfortunately had to hard summon the Evil Soul Serato.
I mean, it's 19. It beats over everything but Dragon.
So when someone from the deck, it's 21, and when it kills a guy, it adds one to your deck, from your deck to your hand. But even as a
special summoned one,
I think it adds.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
But even as like a 1900 beta, you think back to the Dino Ripe matchup, and it's a very similar logic. It's worth running a card that you might have to summon as a 1900 vanilla, because when its effect does go off or use it properly, it's just amazing. So I'll just change the...
Okay, so we'll quickly go through what Nathan's side is. He's got 3 Flying Sea, 2 Lila, 3 Noblemen of Crossout. That is going to be insane here.
Yeah, the Westler is also a flip effect
played
monster.
On, a compulsory, a warning, 2 wiretap, and a mind control. So out of Nathan's board, I kind of like End the Band played on. It seems...
Although unfortunately, it does have the issue of not playing around the trap at all, because he can just grab a 3, a 4, and make a Lagia, and like...
So I feel like Nathan here's probably going to
he's gone straight for the Volcasaurus with the Soul Charge.
Oh, wow. Nathan has known to be a very aggressive player.
Well, if he's able... Like, you look at his board at the moment, he has the Volcasaurus, 2 back row. If he's able to just put his opponent on a clock, it's possible like he'll just kill him.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to deal with every monster that Bodhi can summon apart from Solder, right? I mean,
it seems like it
beats over both the dinosaurs.
Yeah, it seems like the longer this game goes on, the more it's going to be in the Evil Tire player's favor, because they're more likely to open the Najasho if it was Wombo combo. They're more likely to just set the trap, flip it, make a Lagia, kill your guy, set the trap, flip it, make a Dolka, kill your guy. Like, whereas if Nathan can just Volcasaurus, blow it up, swing. Yep.
And here's the Najasho Evo Force, as we mentioned earlier, which is just the 2-card Exceed.
Yeah.
So Nathan's taking a look at Evo Force.
So this is where chain links. This is where you can abuse chain links a little bit. One of them does actually miss timing, but you can bring it out off the correct chain link. But there is actually a Wolf Bark as well. So with that Serato Engrave, he'll be able to hopefully bring that back as well.
Yep. So
although Nathan has flipped and the band plays on, so now he's forced to summon 2 different levels. And from memory, all the Evolzors he's playing at level 4.
I'm pretty sure aren't all of them in general level 4?
Yeah.
I mean, you could be playing the level 5s and 6s, but a player here is not. He's not cute enough to play the what's his face Elias.
Yeah, Elias isn't good now that you have that trap card.
Now you have the trap card. Yeah, I mean, being able to just actually make solders back in the day was pretty sweet.
So for his 2-card, like he resolved his Rodar, and for his 2 cards, he literally ended up with a 2100 monster.
A 2100 monster, which is just going to just get attacked over.
Yeah. For
nothing.
I'm almost surprised Nathan didn't use the effect to blow it up. It would have been more damage overall.
It would have been more damage, but I mean...
I know some people are a big fan of playing the conservative game, but I think if you're going to go all in and get real aggressive about it, you might as well just go all the way.
It's true, but... I mean, it's possible on another turn, Bodhi might have 2 monsters on the field. He could Volcasaurus 1, attack the other, but if he has 2 on the field, he's probably getting rid of the Volcasaurus. But yeah, here's the real problem that we're seeing with Evols. I mean, his hand is a flip effect monster. The Grand Mole.
Here it comes.
Jeez.
So now it's honestly just a question of, like, you'll know that Nathan didn't do anything on his last turn. He had the band plays on and he had the Volcasaurus, and that was his entire turn. So now that that's gone, it's really a question of if he can actually do anything about it.
That's true. So what I've seen in Nathan's hand, he has a Nobleman, a Soul Charge, and a Super Polymerization. So interesting he kept Super Poly in his deck against the all-fire deck.
But interesting to note that he can't actually just Soul Charge and make another Volcasaurus or anything like that because of that and the band plays on. Although, do they come out simultaneously? I think, actually...
I'm not sure if the card cancels simultaneously. I don't think it does.
I think it would be... I think you already have to control the monster for you to not be able to summon it.
As one they control, yeah. So he could just summon like 2 level 5s, 2 level 4s.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he didn't use the Soul Charge that turn. I mean, I think he pretty much only could make a rank 5, and Durandal just wouldn't have been great. Okay, so here's the Soul Charge.
I think he was...
But if this just gets bottomless, or... Oh, geez, this is going to be a blowout.
Deep Dark.
The Deep Dark, and Nathan's on 500, so if he doesn't have a monster to just stop this Diplo just killing, he's just going to get killed both games by Diplo beats. And with the Grand Mole still in hand, it's going to be reasonably easy for Bodhi to just put back to... Yep, and Nathan just scoops, and there's the handshake.
Wow.
So that can really show you how, like, playing a rogue deck and your opponent just doesn't really know what your deck does.
And, like, more than that, you don't really have anything to side against it. I mean, the problem with, like, some rogue decks is... It sounds silly, but because their strategies are inconsistent, it means they're not always making the same plays.
That is true.
His first turn game 1 was set Wesley, set some back row, and Nathan had the Nobleman pretty much that entire game. But because his opponent just never set a Westlow, never set a Najasho, it was just never live.
It really
He actually drew 2 of them, you can see, so that card was totally dead the entire time. Oh, awesome.
So we're going for an interview with Bodhi here?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so I'll step out and let you handle that interview with Bodhi.
Yeah, no worries.
Careful not to completely destroy our setup with my feet.
Hey, buddy. Alright, so we're here with Bodhi. He is the winner of our feature match for the last round. So, Bodhi, you're 2-1 at the moment, correct?
Yeah.
Excellent. So how did you think the last round went?
Went pretty good. I think I mainly won by luck, though, because I saw his hand and he bricked real hard.
Yeah, definitely. So we were just discussing on stream, obviously the deck you're playing, Evilzors, it's a little bit of probably considered a rogue deck at the moment.
Yeah, I don't see too many people using it.
Yeah, so what made you make the decision to play that deck as opposed to something else?
I don't know. I really like the feel of a deck, to be honest. It's not really any of my decision, it's just... I think my most satisfying thing is just flipping over into Singularity and just chucking someone massive on board.
Yeah, definitely. That card definitely gave you like a big boost. So we saw like a lot of pretty diverse strategies as you played. I mean, like game 1, you pretty much won that just through straight beatdown. You just kept him from having a monster on the board. And then game 2, I think it was a big, like a real boost to your strategy that you didn't make the same plays you made in game 1. So like, he had the 2 Noblemen across that in his hand the entire time. You just never set the Westlow. Like,
nah.
No, definitely. So some of your texts are pretty interesting as well. So you're main decking a Neospatian Grand Mole. What was your logic behind that?
Well, the way I see it is, we got the main decks are Burning Abyss, Shadows, and Tellarknights, and that just laughs on him, I reckon.
Yeah, pretty much. No one ever expects the Grand Mole, like especially main deck game 1. If you just drop it and bounce the guy, you're doing pretty well. And Swamp Mirror was the other card. We actually had to look that up because we didn't know what it did.
Yeah.
So is it mostly just because it can just be any like attribute and you can make it a dinosaur?
Yeah. The main part of it is use, because when you play Evols a lot, you get a lot of the dead dinosaurs in hand.
Yeah.
So you just swap Mirror and Dino and just go for like your Dolka.
Mm-hmm. And was that your logic behind back to square one as well?
Oh, yeah, just to get dead stuff in. Same with Blaster.
Yeah, cool. No, it definitely looks a very interesting deck. So how long have you been playing Evilsaurs for?
I've been playing that for about 3 years.
Okay, so you've pretty much been playing like from the start. You're very, very OG with the deck. No, that's cool. So do you think that your deck sort of, like, it looked like you both kind of didn't open optimally? Because I know your deck is capable of doing a lot of great stuff with like Evital. Like if you get Najasho and Eva Force, you can just like make a big guy. And even like you only saw the Westlo game 1 and you flipped it into a Diplo. How have your other matches gone today? Like, have you sort of made some of those bigger plays?
No, not really. It's kind of been really grinding. Like, the first one was against the Tellarknights. I didn't even go into Dolka Lagia once.
Yeah.
I just beat him down with a Diplo and a Serato pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's we were sort of drawing parallels between this and the Dino Rabbit strategy, because obviously your boss monsters are the same, even though technically they're your boss monsters.
I know, they stole it. Can't believe it.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, you know, you look at Serato, and it really sucks drawing a 1900 vanilla, but 1900 is good. Like, none of the main decks Tellarknights get over that, so you really can just swing them with those beats. Cool. All right, good. Well, how do you think you're going to go next round? Are you looking to sort of, you quietly confident?
Not really. I'm kind of crap myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
I had no idea how I won at other games.
yeah, definitely the feeling of being like on table 2 or 3, and you're like, oh god, it's round 3. How am I still here?
Yeah, like I was in the second round, and I was versing Rai, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
And he just Xy's into a giant hand, and my heart just kind of fell out like he actually has one of those.
That's definitely a fair enough call. It's always a little bit intimidating when someone just natty drops the giant hand on you. Alright, good. Well, it's good. Like we definitely wanted to see people playing a few more of the like the roguish, like not so meta decks, and it's actually really, really cool to see that you like completely creamed your feature match. Like you just 2-0'd him. Awesome. Well, thanks, man. Good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me.